No, this is an absolute goddamn joke. There is zero reason we're losing to Notre Dame, who hasn't won a game since the Division II Chaminade. Are you serious, Cal? This is an absolute joke. You've got to be absolutely freaking kidding me. You lose to Notre Dame, who hasn't won a game since the Mount Invitational against a Division II school. They are 0-5 when playing Division I schools, playing Power 5 teams, and they're 0-5. And once again, you find a way to lose to a terrible team. This is a Notre Dame team who is absolute garbage, and you find a way to be unprepared, and you go on the road, you lose to a terrible Notre Dame team by 4. That is an absolute joke. You have got to be absolutely kidding me. If you aren't embarrassed, Big Blue Nation is embarrassed losing this god-awful Notre Dame team. God-awful Notre Dame team. This is an absolute joke. Calipari, your preparation for first 2 road games is a joke. And tonight's game in general from an outside shooting joke was an absolute joke. This is absolutely embarrassing. The fact that Notre Dame gets a storm and a court on you is a joke. An absolute joke. Not only if you lost to Notre Dame 2 years in a row, they were up on you 24 points at halftime a year ago. You go to their place with a clearly superior team and you lose once again to Notre Dame. How absolutely embarrassing. You know, a lot of times in the past, I have forgiven these first true road game losses for Kentucky under Calipari. This one I will not forgive because this is embarrassing. This Notre Dame team is absolutely god-awful. And Calipari, you still found a way to manage to lose this game. How? This is a game that should have been a given for Kentucky to win. Should have been a given for the Cats to win this game on the road in Notre Dame. But guess what? No. We got John Calipari, the guy who can't make a halftime adjustment. Cal did not make one single adjustment in the halftime period of this game. They played just as bad in the second half as they did in the first half. And don't you dare comment with the whole, John Calipari is the Hall of Fame coach. I do not care. John Calipari is the Urban Meyer of college basketball. The whole, I can recruit all I want. Just like Urban Meyer when it came in football and he was at Ohio State, Florida, it didn't matter. If they were not in control by halftime, they'd not win that game. That has been the same way John Calipari is in college basketball. I call John Calipari the Urban Meyer of college basketball for that exact same reason. Cal, you once again let down one of your teams at Kentucky. If I was you, I'd be thoroughly embarrassed losing to Notre Dame. This is a Notre Dame team that is pure garbage, and you need to get your goddamn shit together because that is embarrassing. How in the world can you lose to that Notre Dame team? That Notre Dame team whose last win was Chaminade and just got blown out and embarrassed by Boston College. Boston College blew out that Notre Dame team we just lost to. Think about that. Boston College just blew out that same Notre Dame team we just lost to. Now, I've been to somebody who has defended John Calipari left and right, but once again, he has shown his lack of being able to make a halftime adjustment to win a game. This is a game in which should have not been in question. This should not have been in question from the get-go, from tip-off, at halftime, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. This should have been a game that was decided days ago. This is awful. Embarrassing. Disastrous. How many more adjectives can I come up with? Embarrassing. Laughable. John Calipari doesn't know how to make a halftime adjustment, which, of course, everybody already knew that. That's nothing new. But yet, guess what? He rolls with everything that's already not working the entire second half. The entire second half. Oh, this ain't working. Let's run it again. Guess what? It doesn't work. Make an adjustment and win a ball game. For the love of God. I know. Oh no. God forbid you question a Hall of Fame coach. God forbid. God forbid you question a Hall of Fame coach. But right here, another Hall of Fame coach in Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. A Hall of Fame coach, and guess what? The game has passed him by. If Syracuse manages to lose to a god-awful Georgetown team, because they won't move on from Jim Boeheim, just because he's a Hall of Fame coach.
The Boeheims. Buddy misses. Jimmy tips it in for Dad Jim. Back the other way. Remember, they lost to Colgate earlier this season. A lot of inconsistency.
Oh, look at that. Georgetown makes it. Of course, we've already seen the halftime. We've already seen the highlights from that. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here for us to say something I really regret. This is absolutely embarrassing. This Kentucky team should be embarrassed. I don't care if this was a game played on the moon, in Lexington and South Bend, on Mars, Pluto, the Andromeda Galaxy. This was a Notre Dame team that had zero business being in this ball game. This loss is on Calipari, and it is an absolute joke. What an absolute joke. I'm going to go off here before I say something I really regret. Oh, God. I am angry. Say something I absolutely regret. This is an absolute joke. Calipari, you're a joke on road games. Your whole coaching method of not making adjustments is a joke. Oh, God.